We know that being a dad comes with lots of love, but sometimes it also comes with lots of questions, especially when it comes to family law. So joining us this morning to answer all of your questions is Attorney Cynthia K. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. My name's Attorney Cynthia Hawes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Why they got it in the script? Okay. Hey, I did not write this script. I apologize for that.
No worries at all.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. Let me just jump right into it. What are some of the biggest misconceptions people have about fathers' rights, in family court?
Yeah, that is an amazing question. So what I would say is the absolute most misconception is that dads believe nationwide that if you sign the birth certificate after leaving the hospital with your baby mom, that you automatically have legal rights, and that is absolutely not true. So,
right.
Yeah, that's the number one misconception.
Yeah, we think that because you go and do and also the one that legitimized them in probate court or whatever, you don't have nothing signed by a judge, you are not legal. That's
absolutely correct. That's absolutely correct. You need a judge to enforce any rights that you may have.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about parental rights. Do fathers have the same custodial rights as mothers under the law?
That's a great question. They do not. So if dads actually have children outside of wedlock, they have no custodial rights. So moms have all the rights. They can move anywhere they want in the world. And dads really have no recourse unless they seek legal action.
Mm. Okay,
yeah.
So what do you think?
Because let me explain it. It's not to be unfair to the dad, but when the mother gives birth, you automatically know that she is the mother, but you don't know whether he is the father or not unless you do DNA tests and then go through the court and sign off by a judge. So that's what gives you legal rights. I was explaining that to some friends on yesterday. Go ahead, Alfredo.
Yeah, you know what they used to say, what the old folks used to say is mother's baby, daddy maybe. Yeah, because you just don't know. Okay. So what should a dad do if he's being denied visitation with his child? So many situations with that going on.
Absolutely. There's so many situations that happen. So they should take immediate action. I would advise that they reach out to an attorney in their area as soon as possible so that they can vest their rights as soon as possible and be able to participate in being a father in their child's life.
So, Attorney Hawes, now if there is no formal custody agreement in place, what rights does a father have?
None.
Zero. So, we're going back to square one. The birth certificate doesn't matter. Whether they were involved in the child's life from day one doesn't matter. Without a court order signed by a judge, they have zero rights to that child if the child was born out of wedlock.
Please
well, what's the use of the daddy there for then?
Wait a minute, say that again, Gary.
What's the use of the daddy there for? He ain't got no rights to do nothing. I mean, until you got to sign paperwork.
Because you don't know if he is the dad. You can prove maternity among the child being born, but you can't prove paternity unless a DNA test is done. But it have to be signed by a judge.
Does the birth certificate being signed not mean anything?
Nope, it means absolutely nothing, right? Because if you think about it this way, a woman could give birth to a baby and then break up with the actual father and get with another man, and then that new man signed the birth certificate. So now we have a catastrophe, right? So we have to do the paternity test. Yeah.
I didn't know that marriage would hold such a strong, with that. You have to be married. Wow, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if that's the case, then men don't have to pay child support. I ain't my baby then, and keep going. And if you ain't,
Yeah.
But
So,
if it's out of paternity, out on wedlock, then.
But
right.
When you pay child support, whatever that's done by a court order, which give you parental rights. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
But
so child support typically is a separate claim. It's a separate claim. So a lot of times we see that child support could be sought out even if the dad doesn't have any legal rights or he does not want to vest the legal rights. Yeah.
My Lord.
Yeah.
Ricky, you know so much, child.
Boy, look at here.
I already know you know about all of it.
Talk about alienation. And how, and I just really want everybody, men and women, fathers and mothers, to open up their ears on this. Talk about how does alienation affect children?
Absolutely. That is extremely important. It's highly recognized. So alienation, essentially what it is that one parent is ousting the other parent from the child's life intentionally, right? So they're keeping the child away during the child's birthday, monumental moments, graduations, first day of kindergarten. And so that is what we describe as alienation, which again can be prevented if fathers would take legal recourse immediately and seek out a judicial court order.
That's so sad.
Yeah,
It's child abuse,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah,
It's child
like
abuse.
that is.
It is.
A child psychologist said once that keeping a child away from the other side of the family, whether it's the mother's side or the father's side, is harmful to the child. It is.
Why would you not want that child to get love from every direction?
Sometimes
What does
the
that say about
relationship
you?
is bad. Absolutely, it's child abuse. It's child abuse. I don't care what nobody say. When you break up, you can find the worst in the person because y'all broke up. But I don't care what issues the parents have. They still love the other parent. You know what I'm saying? That's their parent. So I feel bad for children that have to go through that. If a father loses his job, can child support payments be modified?
Absolutely, right? So the law is typically fair, right? So if the status of employment changes, right, and your income decreases, absolutely your child support obligation can therefore decrease as well, so that it is fair for both households.
Yeah, that's crazy. Go ahead.
What happens?
I'm sorry, Brett.
I'm sorry. What happens when one parent refuses to follow a court order?
Ooh, that's a good one. So we see tons of sanctions, right? So if there is a court order in place signed by a judge and one parent decides to disobey that order, it is the other parent's job. Exactly. It's called contempt. So the other parent can enforce that by filing a contempt action, bringing it to the court's attention, right? So the judge is aware of what's going on, because the judges, they don't live in our home, so they don't know the disputes that's going on.
But what if they ain't got no money to be doing all that filing?
So the great thing about a contempt is you can actually receive your attorney's fees back. So if you seek out legal counsel, you pay thousands of dollars to an attorney to represent you, to enforce the order that's already in place, the judge most absolutely would return your money to you, but it's normally after the end of the case. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So there's definitely recourse.
They don't play. And I'm going to tell you something. Judges don't like it. They do not like when you disrespect and disobey a court order or whatever. And now they will put you in jail. And I have seen a lot of parents go to jail for disrespecting a court order. You know what I'm saying? You have to respect the courts. Hey, if y'all have any questions, y'all hit us up at 866-9-RICKEY, 866-9-RICKEY. We'll be taking your phone calls. Coming up next, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. We are back with family law attorney Cynthia K. Hawes. And listen, man, shout out to all the members of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated.
Woo!
That is, Cynthia K. Hawes is a soror. Hey, you want to shout out your chapter right quick?
Yes, I'm affiliated with Tau Pi Omega in Stone Mountain, Lithonia.
There it is. And we already covered some really important information about fathers' rights, custody, visitation, and child support. And so we open up the floor for more of your questions. For some of your questions, hit us up at 866-9-RICKEY, 866-9-RICKEY. Let's go to the phones. Good morning.
When your child go to college and she get kicked out of college, it's supposed to terminate child support. And Missouri child support is not trying to help me. What can I do?
Yeah, so first you want to seek out legal counsel in your local area. In general, what I would tell you is that child support typically ends and commences when the child graduates high school. So there should not be a further obligation. Definitely want to seek out legal counsel, even if it's just a consultation.
All right. Okay. Good morning. You're on with Attorney Cynthia. Good morning.
Yes, this is Chris calling from Calera. I had a question on how long does it take the state to get back with you on administrative review, child support?
So generally that answer, it could be 3 to 12 months. It just depends on, your local area and your local courthouses and systems. But it can take quite some time. So I would definitely advise to have some patience because you are working with a government entity. As long as your documentation is correctly filed, they will definitely get to your case.
All right, you're on with Cynthia K. Hawes. Good morning.
Hi, my name is Nicole, calling from Baton Rouge. I'm actually going through this stuff now with my daughter. her and her husband got divorced, and the baby, my grandson, is autistic. He's on the border. My grandson went over there, and he just refused to go back to his dad. He's 5 years old. He can't express what happened, but he don't want to go over there. How do my daughter handle this situation?
Absolutely. So she needs to file some form of a modification, in her area so that she can get the order that was signed by the judge modified so that the child is not forced to be in a place that they don't want to be and may not be in the best interest of the child.
Okay. Brandon in Houston asks, can I stop paying child support if I'm not allowed to see my child?
Ooh, that's generally a big no. We don't want to do that, right? Because judges, they look at both sides, they look at both parents, they look at the activity and the productivity that you guys as parents are putting into your children. So just because one parent is doing something wrong doesn't mean that you should do the same thing, right? You want to be the bigger parent to show the most emotional maturity so that when you do end up in court, you can actually show the judge, this is what I've been doing. I deserve primary custody. Typically, a lot of the times, if there's alienation, then a court will reverse custody to the other parent.
Now,
and let me say this. You don't ever want to go to court and you are the issue. If you are the plaintiff and you go into court because she won't or he won't let you see the child, you don't want to spend the court's time in there explaining why you did something wrong.
right.
Okay, so you want to make sure that all your ducks are in a row, that you are current with your child support or current with you allowing the other parent to see the child. So the issue is them and not you.
Yeah. Speaking of, now when you go to court, can text messages, social media posts, and emails be used as evidence in those cases?
Absolutely. Anything in writing, right? Even nowadays, in newer times, we're actually receiving video and audio recordings. So anything in writing can obviously be used against you in the court of law. So I would advise that you keep your conversation and correspondence with the opposing party at a minimum, right? You want to show that you are the amenable parent in the situation.
Hey, can I ask you a question since it's Father's Day week?
Absolutely.
Why historically that the courts have been so unfair to men?
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a really, really good one. I would probably say just based off tradition, right? This country's tradition, normally it was the dad and the husband, the father that went out to work, and it was the mom that stayed home and provided for the children. They're more nurturing. So I think kind of just that traditional history has trickled down even into 2026. But I will say that I've seen major changes in that as well. So that's the bright side.
Yeah, and I just had to ask that question because a lot of men are afraid to go to court because they feel like that the courts are going to be unfair to them, or they're not going to be able to make any type of progress. And so that's why I asked that. Dave, we have any more phone calls? Let's take another call. You on with Attorney Cynthia K. Hawes. Good morning.
My question is, my name is Michael. I'm from St. Louis. My question is, my son is 23 and I'm 43, and I'm hearing, that the courts are still siding with mothers, and literally fathers still have no rights until you go through this legal process to get legitimized and so forth. That just have a say-so in their son's life or their kid's life. What has changed? Has anything changed in the last 20 years, and is there anything going to change to make it fair for the fathers?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. It's, a very in-depth question. I think, my professional opinion would be that change is really slow, right? But as long as we push towards change, right, changing the actual laws, getting out there, voting for the right judges, and the people who are actually going to be the new lawmakers. That's how we actually make the change. But I agree with you that the change has been very slow, and dads who have children out of wedlock still have to petition the court for those vested custodial rights.
Hey, Attorney Cynthia K. Hall, real quick, let us know how you can be reached, and thank you so much for being here. We look forward to having you back.
Absolutely. So my Instagram handle is cynthia.thefamilylawattorney, and my phone number is 866-LAW-ROOT. That's LAWROOT. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Look forward to having you back, y'all. Attorney Cynthia K. Hawes, more Rickey Smiley Morning Show coming up.
The Rickey Smiley Morning Show, baby.